Hello YouTube, Restitution here, and today we're going to be talking about Apple's latest news, the new iPhone announcement. No other way to put it. I've been watching it live stream, and I took a whole bunch of notes. And this we're only going to talk about the iPhone. I'm going to do another video where we're going to talk about all the other things that they talked about, such as iOS 7 and some other cool stuff. But let's talk specifically on the new iPhone. So I have my notes here. Couple surprises. First of all, Apple is getting rid of the iPhone 5. In the past, they would take the old iPhone, in this case the 5, and knock it down to $100 and release the new phone. With the two phones coming out, we were kind of curious as to what they were going to do. Either water down the iPhone 5 and make the 5C, or that's really the only thing that I thought of. I wasn't expecting them to say, no more iPhone 5. The iPhone 5 is being replaced for the iPhone 5C, and the new one, the 5S, is going to be the new flagship. But that's what they're doing. So let's take a look at the iPhone 5C. The iPhone 5C is an iPhone 5, pretty much, with a plastic back, and it comes in multiple colors. And the colors are green, white, blue, pink, and yellow. Couple things that I noticed that are really cool are that the back and the sides are a single piece. So there's no seams, there's no part lines, there's no joins. It is a single piece. So it really looks like an iPhone 5 made of plastic, which isn't always a bad thing. The plastic is a hard-coated polycarbonate, and they went into a lot of detail about how they made it scratch-resistant, crack-resistant, and reinforced it. Beneath the plastic is actually a steel-reinforced frame. Now, they kind of took HTC's design with HTC's zero gap design, and they built the antennas into that steel frame. So there's no degradation or having to worry about signal strength. They also talked about some new plastic soft touch silicone cases that have a whole bunch of holes cut into them, so you can still see the color of your phone through it, which I have to see in person to really get an idea of whether or not it's a good thing. Some of the specs about the 5C, it is the 4-inch Retina display that we're used to. It's the same CPU, so it is the A6 processor that we have found to be a quite robust processor in the iPhone 5. It does have a larger battery. They didn't say how much larger, so probably in the 10% range. It's a larger battery, 5 to 10%. Nothing drastic, but enough to give you a little bit more through the day. 5 megapixel rear camera that we're accustomed to, but a new 1.9 megapixel front-facing camera. And they changed the pixels, and we're going to talk about that when we talk about the iPhone 5S. It also supports the most bands of LTE, which is kind of telling me that it's an LTE advanced capable phone. So it's going to support the 5, the 700, the 800, the 1900, all those spectrums all over the world, which is really cool. The 5C is going to come in at $100 for the 16 gig model and $200 for the 32 gig model, just like the 4S that we are selling currently. This is before, obviously, the 5C and 5S come out. One of the things that they said that I kind of took to heart, the iPhone 5C is beautifully, unapologetically plastic. So it is a cheaper phone. The C could stand for cheap. It really stands for colors. They want to brighten your day with more colors. And it really is evident that they did take some time and care. They didn't just make it plastic. They did upgrade a few of the minor things to replace the iPhone 5. So the iPhone 5 is being replaced by the 5C. Simple as that. The 5S. This is what we're here for. This is what I was paying attention for, because they said this is the most forward-thinking phone Apple has ever come up with. Those are big shoes to fill, since the iPhone itself was such a forward-thinking and revolutionary phone from the beginning. So, and I wanted them to surprise me. I wanted them to give me a lot of things to make me want the phone. As you all know, I am not an iPhone guy. I love my Androids, just because based on the customization. So let's see if iPhone and Apple delivered. The 5S showed a nice video, melting metal, and when it solidified, it was gold, which showed us the gold pane, gold champagne, gold pane color of the new iPhone. They're calling it gold. There are 3 colors to the new iPhone 5S. Silver, which is going to be the white and silver that we're used to. Gold, which is going to be a white and the champagne-y gold pane color that we've seen pictures of online, and a new space gray, which is the black with a lighter color than the slate that we're used to, kind of a fusion between the black slate and the silver of the current iPhone 5. There is a new processor powering this phone, the A7 chip. Now, I heard a lot of claims about it in rumor, but it's a 64-bit chip. Now, I could spend 10 minutes telling you about how awesome that is, but that's a lot of techno mumbo jumbo. If you want more, send me a message. I'll go more into detail about it. It's a 64-bit. The previous processor was 32-bit. That means that it can process more information more quickly. It processes twice as much per cycle. So it is a processor that is twice as fast. Around 200+% faster in the processing portion, and it is 400% or greater processing power in the graphics. So it's going to look better. It's going to be speedier, which we kind of knew was coming. Being twice as fast on hardware side, that's great. I don't know if we're going to see that much speed difference software side and user side, but I'll let you guys know as soon as I get my hands on one. Graphics support OpenGL ES version 3, which is just a software and a processing algorithm to generate graphics, and it's great. The new Nexus supports it, a few other Android devices support it. Really great looking graphics, and they went into Infinity Blade and showed the new Infinity Blade, and it's gorgeous, as Infinity Blade always is. This is the final chapter of the trilogy, so when it comes out, I will be booting back up my iPhone. I will be putting Infinity Blade 3 on there and going and slaying some monsters and dragons, because who doesn't want to take out the dragon? In conjunction to the new processor, there is a motion coprocessor, the M7 chip. And what this is this is there to compete with Samsung's S Health and other features of the new Galaxy S4. It is a processor dedicated to capturing the motion of the phone. It's got an accelerometer, a gyroscope, a compass. All of these things are going to be used with a bunch of fitness apps. Nike has a new one coming out for those of you who have Nike Plus. It's Nike Plus Move, which is going to be a lot more precise. It's going to have a lot of cool features to it, so we should see more coming from it there. They mentioned better battery life. They didn't go into the specifics, but they're saying 10 hours of 3G talk time. I wasn't really sure of what that means, so again, I'm probably going to say a 10% increase in battery life, which is good considering of the new processor and the addition of another processor that needs to be powered. After we have the processor, then after Infinity Blade, they talked camera. They didn't go with a larger camera like we thought. We were expecting a 10 megapixel camera. What they did was they had larger pixels. This is similar to HTC's Ultra Pixel. They went with a 1.5 micron pixel. Again, lots of techno mumbo jumbo, but a larger pixel means a better picture. I can go on more into detail about that, but it's going to take much clearer, sharper pictures. Now, to go with the larger pixel, they also added a lot of new software tweaks under the hood on the 5S. Every time you take a picture, the phone will take, I believe they said 10 pictures, and it will automatically choose the best one, and that's the picture you captured. I'm going to skip a part because this is on the same process. They all talked about auto image stabilization, and the way the auto image stabilization works is it takes those 10 pictures and finds the sharpest one. So the one that has the cleanest lines. So if your hand is shaking and you take a picture, on your shake, you're going to stop at one point to go the other direction. So it's assuming that one of those 10 pictures is going to be at that aperture, and then that picture is going to come out the cleanest and the sharpest, and that is how it does auto image stabilization, which is a cool feature. It's not an optical image stabilization. The camera doesn't free float like it does in the HTC One and some of the new Nokias, but a pretty cool concept. So, but they talked about that in about 5 minutes, so we're gonna skip this part, go there, and then come back. One of the things that they also added, and this has really been a long time coming, and a few phones have done it in the past, but they added a true tone flash. An iridescent camera lens flash, an iridescent LED flash, is a bluish color. It's very white. And when you're indoors, the lights that you have, like the ones we have up here, these are very blue as you can see, but the one up here is a little bit more in the yellow, a little bit warmer. So what Apple did was they adapted the two LED flash, where a flash would go off and the other one would come up to kind of draw some other colors to get rid of the red eye. Apple took that same idea, except for they had two color flashes. One blue, a nice cool color, one in amber, a nice warm color. And the flash is going to go off. It's going to analyze the lighting around it and adjust the flashes to try to match the lighting in the current environment. There are 1,000 different color combinations on that flash, which is going to give a much truer to life flash for better skin tone. It's not going to wash everyone out because it's so blue in a dark, warm room. So I really liked that. That's going to be great for those of you who do take pictures with your phone. And it's going to give you a feature that you don't even get on the high-end SLRs. All the SLR flashes are the iridescent LED, which may be too cool, and then you fix with post-processing. This is going to take away some of the post-processing. There are some great pictures. I'm going to try to take them and upload them, and you'll see them on all the other reviews. And I just accidentally closed that note, but let me go back, because there's one more thing that they talked about, or at least I think that they talked about. Oh yeah, more on the camera. Burst mode. Press and hold the shutter button. It'll take 10 pictures a second, which is pretty good. That's a lot of photos. But the one thing that it does is in the photo gallery is it sorts them as one picture, and then you can click on it and go through and select the best one, which is a really nice feature. They also added slow motion video, and this isn't your everyone else's 60 frames per second slow motion. No. 120 frames per second, which means you can capture 720p HD video 4 times slower than actual speed. So you can slow things down by 400%, which is really cool. The last thing that they talked about was security. Security is a big risk, and a lot of people just use a passcode on their phone. Passcodes work great, except for if someone steals your phone, they just reset it, da-da-da. Now, having played with some iOS 7, there are some other security features that stop you from just resetting the phone. But security. In the home button, there is a fingerprint scanner and software to go along with it called Touch ID. The fingerprint scanner is built into the home button. It is a 500 pixel per inch scanner that scans the sub-layer of the dermis. So it actually isn't just looking for a picture of your fingerprint, it's actually looking for the indentations, which is really cool. It also works in any direction, so you can pick up the phone upside down, like this, upside down, and fingerprint, and boom, unlock the phone. Which is really cool. Now, it's built into the home button, so scratching the home button is really important to not happen, otherwise it won't work. So they added a sapphire lens, which is very scratch resistant, so that will work very well. My favorite part, though, about the fingerprint reader is not only can you use it to unlock your phone, but you're downloading an application. Hey, you need to enter your iTunes password. No, you don't. Boop. Fingerprint. Fingerprint verification for app purchases and downloading. Best part ever. I'm so tired of typing my password because, like any other IT guy, I have a really long, complicated password. And on iTunes, I made it short and super easy for me to type. So now I can go back to my secure password and use my fingerprint for unlocking and purchasing applications. It also allows use of multiple fingerprints, which, when this comes out to the iPad, which I'm sure it will, we might be seeing multiple user profiles based on fingerprint. That would be a really cool feature. Security-wise, a lot of people don't want to freak out because their fingerprints are now everywhere. It's only going to be stored on Apple server. No one else is going to have access to it. I could insert an NSA joke, but I don't think I need to. Apple's the only one who's going to have it, so it only works with Apple applications. You won't be able to unlock other applications that aren't Apple with your fingerprint. So, pros and cons, only Apple has it. You don't need to worry about someone stealing that information. This is coming in a 16, a 32, and a 64 gig model, starting at the standard pricing, $200, $300, and $400. Both of these phones are launching at the same time, with pre-orders starting on the 10th. So, that's 3 days from now, guys. Make sure you get your pre-orders in, because they will go quickly. And then they ship on the 20th. So, 2 weeks. Well, really a week and a half. And we have the new iPhone, the world among us. So, that's the new iPhone. There was a lot covered in the press conference. I'm sure the full version is going to be online for you to watch. I'm also going to annotate and go over everything else in another video. I just wanted to get this out first. So, this is Restitution. Be sure to subscribe and check back for more phone, application, and accessory reviews. Until next time, guys, Restitution signing off.